Hey there, it's Larissa. We are back again for our weekly Lunch and Learns after the Unstoppable You workshop this week. What a fantastic experience. I had a great time, and I hope you did too if you were there to join me. We are back to our regular schedule, and we had some really, really terrific questions that had come in during the course, and we did answer them, but we also wanted to dive just a little bit deeper into some of the topics that came up for you. And one of those questions or one of those themes, those overriding themes, was about goal setting. Okay. And I think we really look at goals. Like, I know a lot of people don't think about goals or goal setting until they're actually like coming up to New Year's or in that New Year's phase, or maybe it's like 3 months or 6 months in the year. Maybe they're up for a performance review or some kind of change is happening in life, right? These are times when we really sit down and evaluate goals. And I love setting goals. I love having goals. I love having something to aspire to. I know it's made a huge difference in my life to really hone that focus. And what I realized is the more I started setting effective and powerful goals, the more difference it would make in my life and in my success, right? I used to just set these willy-nilly goals. And when I really started understanding what a goal actually was and how to set one effectively, it made a world of difference. And I think when you set the right goal, it's like everything clicks. Everything is just congruent. You get fireworks that go off. You get so excited. You're like, oh my gosh, the world is going to be incredible through what I want to, who I want to be, through what I want to do, through what I want to have. And my life is going to be incredible. My world's going to be incredible. And also that of the people that I'm going to impact. Okay. And so when you really do set the right goal, things do feel congruent. Sometimes they do feel scary. But I think one of the biggest things is setting the right goal is so key, because it is what's going to keep you motivated when you want to just sit on the sofa. It is what's going to keep you moving forward despite what happens in your life, right? You're going to have that fuel to keep going because it's going to be in complete alignment with what you want in your future, with your entire vision of your life and the purpose that you were put on this earth to fulfill. Okay. And so I wanted to just talk about some of the common pitfalls or some of the common challenges people have in actually setting the goals. So there's two parts to goal setting and achieving. It's the setting of a good goal and the achieving it of it. And sometimes people shoot themselves in the foot because they're like, well, I'm trying this and I'm not getting there. I'm trying this and I'm not getting there. I'm trying this and I'm not getting there. And often the problem isn't even in what they're doing or how they're approaching it or even their attitude towards their goal. It's that it's just not a good goal for them. And I think the very first thing we want to really look at when you're setting a goal, you want this to be a worthy goal. Right? You want your goal to be something that is worthy of something bigger in your life, something so exciting that you literally like light up like a Christmas tree or light up like a 6-year-old on Christmas morning. And you want this more than anything else. It's not going to be something you've done before. This is going to be something new, and it might be a little bit scary, but I think when you're looking at setting a goal, it's got to be a stretch, because we talked about, I say this all the time, growth and contribution are two of the higher level human needs we've got. We've got other lower level needs, but the ultimate human needs that we need to fulfill are growth and contribution, so we could have that fulfilling life, so we could have that sense of satisfaction, so we could feel happy, so we could feel joy. Because when we're not growing or we're not contributing, we're going to be stagnant. When you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rotten. You've got to keep moving forward, and you want to have that thing to look forward to. So setting a juicy, juicy goal, something that is worthy of you, something that is worthy of your attention, something that is really spectacular is going to be key. Now, that might sound a little bit scary, right? That might sound a little intimidating, because you're like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't know if I don't even know how I do it. I don't know where I'd find the resources, how I'd find the time, where I'd even start. You don't actually have to know how you're going to get to your goal, right? You don't need to have the steps in place. In fact, you shouldn't know the steps that you need to take in order to get your goal before you set it. All you need to know is that you want it more than anything. Do I want it? Is this juicy? Is this so compelling to me? And is this going to make a huge difference in my life? Okay. So that's something you want to get really honest with yourself about. And it might take a little time. It might just come to you right away. It might take a little time for you to create the space to allow it to come to you. But when you do, it's going to make a world of difference. Okay. So that's really, really key when you're looking at setting and achieving a worthy goal. Okay. Now, when you're looking at having that goal, sometimes there are things with how we even phrase the goal. You have this idea, you have this picture or something that's in your world. But when you're really working with it, you want to make sure you take the time to crystallize it, get it crystal clear. And there's an example that Sandy Gallagher often shares in many of her seminars. And Sandy Gallagher had a goal to have a condo on Malibu Beach. And I love this because it's just an excellent example. And she's like, I thought it would be so romantic. I just thought it would be so beautiful, looking at the waves and seeing the sand. And she just had this romantic idea, this beautiful idea of what it would be like to have a condo on Malibu Beach. Well, she bought this condo and it was not quite what she had anticipated. She's like, well, it was a second floor condo and the waves kept crashing and banging into my windows. My windows were so dirty all the time. I could barely see through them. It was really dark because it was so dirty from the waves and from the sand and from all the dust that was around. It was so noisy. She's like, I could barely make phone calls to people and speak to clients because it was so noisy in that condo. And third, she's a very short person. And she's like, I felt claustrophobic because I'm vertically challenged. And the ceiling was really low even for her. So those are three really big things that made a huge impact in her world. And she got exactly what she wanted. She placed her order with the universe. She's like, I want a romantic condo on Malibu Beach. I want to see the ocean. I want to hear the ocean. She got it. She missed a few things in terms of clarity. So when you're working with clarifying your goal, it's so important that you bring crystal clarity to what you want, because sometimes you will get exactly what you want. We see this, it's humorous actually. The universe has a sense of humor and you do get exactly what you want. You get exactly what you ask for. Sometimes we just don't place that order very carefully. So you want to get that clarity. That's something that we actually, with our clients, we hold 2 goal clarity calls, typically, sometimes 3, generally 2, to really even make sure their goal is crystal clear. And we look at it from so many different angles and it's exactly what they want. Okay. And there's got to be, it can't just be surface level. It's got to be deep, right? You've got to have that clarity at many different levels. One other roadblock people come when they set goals is they're like, my goal is to be happy. My goal is to be fulfilled. My goal is to live in joy and be in bliss all the time. Well, those are beautiful emotional states, but that's not actually a goal. A goal is a bite of your vision. It is something concrete. It's something that can be measured. It is something that you can be. It's something that you can do. It's something that you can have. It's not a state of being. It's like a title. It's something that is measurable, that you can say, okay, I have actually achieved this. Okay. And there are different ways that you can go about it, but you want to make sure that the goal is actually concrete. It's not an emotional state, because concrete goals have evidence. Can I have evidence? What is my evidence? What is it going to be when I actually achieve my goal? That's a really key component. And we often forget it, right? It's like so simple, but it's so easy to forget and so easy to overlook. Okay. So make sure it's not an emotional state, and make sure it does have some kind of evidence procedure in there. Sounds a little clinical, but when you get all the steps in place and it's a juicy goal, you just don't care because you're so happy and you know it is going to be good. It is rock solid. You're not going to be having waves crashing into your condo. You're going to be living in the house of your dreams. She made a much wiser decision and placed a much better order with her house on Whidbey Island, which she moved into later. And that was a whole different story. That's another manifestation story, but got to be clear when you place your order and define your goal. And I think another thing that one other common thing I really get when people are setting goals is they they either don't know what they want or they want too many things. And I think ultimately we can only focus on one thing at a time. So you've got to make a decision. You've really got to just go back to making that decision and pick one thing. If you pick the most important thing, the most juicy thing, you're going to notice that a lot of the other things just naturally fall into place. And then when you're really looking at things, if you're like, oh, I'm lost, I don't even know where to start, I don't know what I want, you actually do know what you want. You're not asking yourself the right questions. So you really don't want to start accepting the story that you think you don't know what you want. You just haven't taken the time and created the space to find it, or you may not be asking yourself the right question. I think that sometimes the benefit of working with someone else that can help you and help prod you with more of those right questions, because sometimes when you have your blinders on, you only see it this way. And everything, you've got the rest of your world, you've got the rest of your periphery, but you're only looking at this slice of the pie. You're only looking at this slice of your world. And if someone could just help free that vision and expand that vision, open up that vision to see your world of possibilities, and you'll be able to really find it. And you're actually going to notice that you find it a lot faster and a lot easier than you think you did. So deep down, you know what you want. You know in your soul knows what you want. You just don't trust yourself yet to admit it. And as soon as you have those right tools and strategies to move forward, magic can happen. So I hope that really helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this, because setting a worthy goal, setting a juicy goal is so, so key. If you don't set the right goal, you're not going to be in a position to achieve it. It doesn't matter how good your strategy is. It doesn't matter how much you force it. It doesn't matter how many days you stay up. It doesn't matter how much meditating you do. If the goal isn't congruent with you, if that goal does not align with your soul, if it is not juicy, if it is not crystal clear, if it is not really specific, if it's something for someone else and not really for yourself, then it's not going to work, right? You have got to want it more than anything. And the second you set that goal, that magical goal that really is just delightful to you, you're going to see all the pieces start to fall into place. And they're going to fall into place in ways you didn't expect, you didn't predict, but you know, and you will know with absolute certainty that everything is working out for you and everything is going to happen to make that goal a reality. So I hope that helps. Yes, a goal is something that you would give your life up for. Absolutely, Kathy. And I think that's something we often forget. We think it's got to be something little. One of the girls we interviewed this past weekend, Stefania Voloshin, she's like, I set a big goal and I thought it was too big, so I was going to start on a little one. I didn't have the courage to even attempt to go after my big goal, but I knew it would happen one day. So she set her big goal aside, and she accepted that she would have it one day, and she started working on the smaller goal. And within a couple months, her big goal had come into fruition. She worked really hard on getting her smaller goal, but the big one happened so easily and it fell into her lap. And that can happen for you too. Whether it's the house of your dreams, whether it's the car that you've been dreaming about, maybe it's Prada shoes, maybe it's a Louis Vuitton purse, maybe it's a vacation to Italy or Greece or to the Bahamas right now with your family. Whatever it is that you want, anything is possible. Everything is going to work out for you. Everything can work out for you. Your step is to set the right goal and place the order with the universe. So with that, we're going to wrap. Bye for now.